Hello, beautiful ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And why that strange name, you might say? And if that's the case, you might not know about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. So stick around to the end for a message on that. But first, we're going to start with the phenomenal Angelina Jordan, who one of you guys suggested to me. I'm so glad I discovered her, found her. And she is singing I Have Nothing. So here we go.
It's truly an honor to be here tonight and to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this unforgettable gala.
I don't know what this unforgettable gala is, by the way. Comment if you know anything about it. But she looks like she's going to say a few things before she sings. So let's hear what she has to say.
I want to say that I'm so proud to be a part of this beautiful Asian community. Yes. You guys want to hear another song? All right.
This is a jazzy outfit she has on, huh? It's kind of psychedelic. Very interesting. Take a look at it, ladies, when you get a chance.
Share my life, take me forward.
Oh, this is the song. I didn't know the name of this song. Now I know the song. I didn't think I knew the song. Let's go back and start that again. Here we go.
Share my life, take me forward. 'Cause I'll never change all my colors for you. Take my love, I'll never ask for too much. And just there you are, and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere I.
Okay, I know she's about to belt it, but isn't it so interesting, the tenor of her voice? I don't know what to call it, but it's that bluesy kind of, I don't know, it's kind of thing, you know. I don't even know what to call it. Who knows what to call it, you folks who are singers and whatnot? What do you call that kind of bluesiness that she brings to her voice? Awesome, just really awesome. We're going to go back and hear that again, and then we'll hear what she's going into now. By the way, like this video if you're enjoying, and like hers, and subscribe. I'm going to do a few more of her because she's really extraordinary. Here we go. Go back a little.
Love, I'll never ask for too much. And just there you are, and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere I. But don't make me close the one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Take my hands if you're there. I must die imagine you there. Don't walk away from me now. I have nothing.
does those riffs so beautifully. And she goes so beautifully from this bombastic kind of sound to this so, I don't know, delicate and heartfelt sound. Let's go back and hear that again.
Go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's no way to hide. But don't make me collapse. So I'm done. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my hands if you're there. I must die if making you there. Don't walk away from me now. I have nothing, nothing, if I don't have you. Yeah, if I don't have you. You see through, oh, I through the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. I never knew love that I known it with a memory survive. Oh, one I can hold on to. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you won't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside, you know, run from myself. There's no way to hide. Your love I remember forever. Man, don't make me collapse.
We got to hear that part before she jumps in here, because that was so special where she did that riffy thing again there. Here we go.
Run from myself. There's no way to hide. Your love I remember forever. Man, don't make me collapse. So I'm done. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my hands if you're there. I must die if making you there. Don't walk away from me now. Don't you dare walk away from me. Nothing if I don't have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, how sweet was that? Oh my goodness. Oh, how sweet was that? Wasn't that so sweet? Oh my goodness. And that's such a beautiful song. You know, it's a gorgeous song about love and about the fear that humans have. You know, we have this fear of love because I think the reason we have this fear of love in the physical reality is because it seems like there's just not enough love. And so when we find someone who gives us that love, but then later on they sort of either take it away again, or perhaps they do things or say things that are unloving and in that way seem to hurt our feelings, right? In that way, then it's this experience of having that love that it was so hard to find to begin with, taken away. So that's what's going on in the third dimensional reality. Whereas when we get to the fifth dimensional reality, it's like, oh, just so much love, 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 you know, that anyone who comes and goes in our lives doesn't bother us too much because there's so much love. And it's coming from so many different directions. But this one, oh my gosh, on my scale of 1 to 10, and we're not talking about how great she did it, because didn't she do an awesome job? Wow, beautiful. But there's a scale I do, which is 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, suffering, anxiety, trauma, etc. And 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, bliss, joy, abundance, all of that. So this one, it's tough because it's talking about sadder subjects. It's talking about fear, love, and all of that. But it is talking about love, which brings it a little higher, right? And it is having the courage to love again after one has maybe lost other loves. I guess that's probably what's going on. So there's that in the pulling it this toward the fifth dimension. So I think like going here somewhere, maybe like a 7, I think, on this song, in terms of how much it pulls us toward the fifth dimension or back toward third dimension, fear, pain, suffering. But we just don't want to, in those kinds of songs where they're not totally going that way, we just don't want to cry in our soup over them, because that's bringing us the wrong direction. If we want to go to 5D, that is, if we're working to go there. So, wow, wonderful. By the way, please comment. Do you see what I'm saying about that? I'd like to hear your opinion. Do you see like that there is that kind of third dimensional stuff going on, but then again, there's that pull toward fifth dimension? I'd like to hear what you have to say about that as well. So please do comment. Okay, so by the way, if you'd like to know a little bit about me, you can watch the video about me on this site, and it'll lead you to a longer video that tells you what I call my forged in the fire of third dimension journey in life. And also you can find out some of the things I've created out of the skills and talents that I gleaned over the years that you might want to participate in. You can go to the YouTube description and drop down and go to the Patreon About Lorelei page and find it all listed there. So, so wonderful. So, boy, I really enjoyed that. That was a great job. And that's a beautiful song. I've always loved that song. So today, what is my 5D message? Exactly why did souls come to physical reality? So why did we all come to this physical reality? If you consider the journey of a soul, like, so there's an oversoul, okay, which is our greater soul that we come from, which is, you might kind of consider that to be sort of like an archangel kind of thing. And then there's the souls that come from the archangels, and sometimes everybody who has that kind of higher dimensional kind of beingness, doesn't have to just be archangels, but that kind of higher dimensional beingness of an archangel, which could be ascended masters who have gotten there, could be galactic family of light who have gotten there, could be a lot of different individuals. But so we have this oversoul, but let's just call it an archangel for lack of a better word. Just understand this, okay? And so these folks were created, when God, the great creator, prime creator, we'll call him that, said, well, I'm going to start to make other individuals that I can interact with and have a good time with and all of that. And from that, he began to break off parts of himself that had a lot of divine God spark in them, by the way. And all of them were playing together and creating planets and universes and seeing like what it would be like maybe to create other forms of life. And maybe you'd have animals and swimming forms of life, and some planets were water, and some were more earthy, and some were a mixture, and some were other things, probably, I don't know what they might have been out there, but some had an inner earth, or an inner core that was actually livable. It was actually more livable in the inner core than on the outside. So they were making all these kinds of things, and the solar systems and the galaxies and the universe and the whole thing. And after millions and millions and millions of years of doing this, and they're in the light, they're in the joy, they're fun, they're having a good time, but they go, but what else is there? Is there anything else? Is there anything else than this to learn or to do? And what naturally sprang into their thoughts was, what if I could sort of not have all this power? What if I didn't have all this power to do all of this? Would that be an interesting game to play? To play a game where I don't have all this power to create planets and everything else, and I go down and I live some kind of other life, and from that life I gradually begin to make my way back to that divine God spark that I am. And all of the archangels and everything thought, oh, this is a great idea, because really after millions and millions of years it gets boring to just have all that power. So they thought, this is a great idea. And so they began to create planets that would be inhabitable, beings, I should say, that would be inhabitable by souls. So, for instance, on planet Earth, it was the human being that they were working on. And they were working on those human beings, going from when they were, I don't know, Cro-Magnon stage, all the different stages. You see them on that chart, to a certain stage where, okay, this is the stage where we can begin to come into these beings. They've got a high enough understanding with their brain and everything else that we can begin to come into these beings as our souls, and we can begin to check out what the physical life is like. Now, the interesting thing, part of the game, is that once you come into that physical reality, you're not just going back again. You need to work your way through the whole process. No matter how many lives it takes, you must then work your way through the whole process until you get to a certain understanding. Oh, I know who I am. I know who I really am. I'm a divine spark of God. And I'm going to go back to that because I've done all that work. See, that's where we're at right now. That's the stage we're at right now. But by the way, let me just let you know, too, on other planets and other areas and other galaxies or whatnot, there were other kinds of beings that were being ensouled. It wasn't just human beings. There were beings that had a resemblance, for instance, to cats or dogs, and they had to evolve a whole lot from a cat or a dog to get to a certain level where, like we did, where souls could come in. So there were all different kinds of beings. Also swimming beings, dolphins and things like that, There were all these different kinds of beings that were ensouled. But on our planet, it was the human beings. So then here we are, so we're ensouling these and we're going through our thing. Now, I say we, meaning the human race, okay? But there's a different we as well that comes along at some point. So the human race is going along and, making its journey. It's going into life after life. Now, back in the day, by the way, when this planet was originally created, it was not meant to be a measly little 8,500 years that you lived. You had these bodies that were magnificent, just as ours are, by the way, but they were not being onslaughted with all kinds of, I say, poisons and diseases and everything, and a mindset that believed it would only live so long. So those stories in the Bible about people living to 800 years or whatever, those are actually true because the human body was built for that. So in the beginning, coming here, there was an understanding. It wasn't expected to be thousands and thousands of lives. It was expected to be a several 100-year journey here. And when you got to a certain point, maybe you made the journey again and went another several hundred years, or maybe you were already by that point, after going hundreds of years, maybe you were like, oh, I get who I am and I'm ready to go back. Now, that was the idea in the beginning, right? But then, as I speak of in some of my other videos, there were some darker beings that messed with this planet a little bit to kind of impede our progress. I'll say it for that way as the best way, and brought our vibration way, 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 way lower than it was ever expected to be, down to this third dimensional physical reality. So in the beginning, it was a physical reality, but there was still a higher consciousness, a higher understanding. But now we came down to this third dimensional physical reality. And now in that reality, it was a matter of, you got 85 years, sometimes you got 45 years in the Middle Ages, sometimes you got 20 years, and then you're coming back, and then you're going to do it again and come back, and then you're going to do it again and come back, and literally could be thousands and thousands of lives. So at one point, so now I'm talking about the other souls that are coming here now. So we've got these souls here who are making their journey, but at one point, there is an understanding that goes out from the planet, from the inhabitor, I should say the higher dimensional archangel, for lack of a better word, that embodies the earth, sends out a message. I need help here because we're pretty low and I don't know how we're going to end this game here. And so at that point, I don't know how many thousands of years it was, but it was a while back. We all come together, a bunch of other souls who have already done this process. These souls have already done this process other places, right? And they've come through and they've come back to themselves and they know who they are. And so we're all floating around doing that. And sometimes we go help other people, planets, because that's what we love to do, is to assist. So now those souls come in and they say, okay, I'll come to the earth and I will assist with that. And many of these folks were, say, for instance, the Buddha or some of the famous people from the Bible, and definitely Jesus and his whole entourage, the mother, the father, the entire, all the disciples and the groups and stuff. These are souls who came with a kind of a plan. They had put together a plan. Okay, you're going to go in at about 2,000 years out That should give people enough time to start to, come back, to start the process coming back. And so that was Jesus and that whole entourage that came in. So that's been quite a process, couple thousand years in the making, as we say. So here we are now. We have all those ones who already knew how to do this, but forgot it all. You had to forget it all. You could not remember it. You had to come in. Otherwise, you'd be messing with free will. So you had to come in cold and forget it all. So those folks are here and looking to sort of drive us forward, because a lot of us are waking up and remembering. I'm waking up and remembering. You might be one of those souls. Who knows, because if you're watching this right now, you might be ready to wake up and remember who you really are as one of those souls, or even as just one of the souls who's been here long enough and ready to move back to source. And I don't mean that you're going to die in any way, shape, or form, but just literally going to take your physical body with you back to that higher dimension where you're in that love and that joy and just connected to all of it and the great creator as well. So, that's very interesting thought. Anyway, so I'm sending you that wonderful energy, that peace, that love, that joy, that bliss, that fifth dimensional understanding of who you really are and the full power that you have. I'm sending it to you right now. Namaste. I honor the God in you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love you.